hello again, and welcome to Rolynn's Reviews. So glad to have you here with us on this wonderful Palm Sunday. All right, I told you guys that I was starting a new series. The name of the series is OHS Spotlight, and we hear so many negative connotations associated with the younger generations. I wanted to spotlight those who graduated from high school and have gone on and they're working successfully in their careers. Everyone's filling up the room now. Hello, Leslie, Tina, Lady Lieber, Reese, Mark, Rhonda. I can go on and on. Daniel, how you doing? So today we have the lovely Jasmine Pridgen. She is a 2006 Overhills High School graduate. Okay, I know Miss Morrison. She's a smiling ear to ear. She obtained her BS degree in marketing. All right, from the numero uno HBCU, North Carolina A&T State University. Whoop whoop.
Aggie Pride.
Aggie Pride. You know, down with the Broncos.
Yeah.
So I wanted her, I told you with this series, I'm going to have people coming on talking about their experiences. Okay, Miss Morrison is booing us. Right. Oh, she's drinking haterade again. So I want them to come on, talk about their HBCU experiences and also about their careers. How you doing, Miss Green? All right, everyone's filling up the room. Everyone, please hit that like button. The more you hit the like button, the more YouTube will share this video, folks. Okay. Hello, everyone who's coming into the room. So Miss Morrison is going to, excuse me, Miss Pridgen is going to talk about her HBCU experiences. How you doing, Mo Dollars? Then she's going to go into her career, some of the good things, some of the bad as well that you may experience as well once you start in your career. For those of you who some of the high school students that are watching now, and hopefully this motivates people. Don't give up, folks. You keep on going. How you doing, Lola? All right, so Miss Pridgen, go ahead and start with us. Tell us a little bit about you, and I'll be asking the questions that are in the comment section. Go ahead.
Okay. Hello, everybody. So one of the things that Miss Rolynn left out of my introduction is that Miss Spicy, aka Rhonda Morrison, is also my mom. So if you've heard any of her videos, she is an educator. So education, most of my family is in education. So I grew up in a small town in Harnett County, went to Overhills High School, but literally from a very small age, it was instilled in me that if you want to go far and be able to choose what you want to do in life, education is first. So in my family, I felt like I was very lucky that I had exposure to college and specifically HBCUs. Like in my family, it wasn't, are you going to college? It's which college are you going to? And more importantly, which HBCU are you going to? Like you can go to a PWI for maybe your master's, but undergrad you have to go get, because if you've been to an HBCU, you know how invaluable of an experience it is. So I was a top student in high school, like graduated third in my class, 4.3, but I only applied to two schools. I applied to Howard and I applied to A&T.
Right.
To both. And I remember a conversation with one of my teachers in high school. She was like, are you sure you're not limiting yourself? And I very strongly told her, no, I don't think that HBCUs is inferior to the schools that you deem as superior. So no, I don't think I'm limiting myself. And I absolutely didn't. I think I tell people, anybody that'll listen, I will talk your ears off. I love my experience at A&T. I think it's one of the best decisions I made, especially at such a young age.
Right.
And when I went there, everybody watched Different World. So that was my, outside of my family, that was my connection to HBCU, was A Different World. So I wanted that experience. They seemed like a family, and it's like, okay, I'm going to go to this HBCU and it's going to be like this. Obviously, that was decades later, so it wasn't exact, but it is a family. And I say that it's a home away from home because my professors were like my aunts and uncles. Like, you didn't want to let them down. We had
Right.
class caps of 35, and in honors classes it was 20. Like, you were in that class. If you didn't come to class, they called you. If your grades were slipping, they called you after class. They let you come to their office hours. So it was a very close knit experience. And I had a friend before I decided to go to A&T. I wanted her to come with me, and her sister, she had an older sister that was just like, oh no, like, you can't go to that black school because Jasmine's never going to get a job, was the
Whoa.
that could not have been further from the truth. Actually, career career fairs, like after your freshman year, the career fair is your focus from sophomore year to senior year because they are grooming you for a job.
Right.
So we had a spring and fall career fair, and they brought in big companies because alumni always came back to recruit. Our professors sat on board so they could have connections to these
Right.
companies that wanted to bring in Black people. So they would take class time to do resumes. They're giving us incentives and extra credit to go to the career fair. They're making sure, like, to teach us how to dress when we go. Like, it was all leading up to, okay, we want to make sure you're the best version of you for this career fair. My friends could not relate that did not have this experience. And I actually I got an internship. I interned after sophomore year, after junior year, and then my senior year. I had a job offer in my senior year that September.
Wow.
So before the year was even over, I already had a job before I graduated. And I graduated in a recession. So I graduated 2010,
Right.
mid-recession, and didn't have to worry because I was already prepared. Like, my school prepared me for that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I would also say the family part of it that I feel after my freshman year, I didn't have enough money to go to school. I'd gotten scholarships and grants for the first year, but they had let me know, hey, you're not going to have enough money to come back for your sophomore semester. So something you learn very on after your parents drop you off is they're not
Mhm.
going to be here to handle your business for you. So I put on the best outfit I had. I went to the dean's office and talked to him directly. You can't do that at a PWI. Like, me and Dean Craig sat across from each other. I said, hey, sir, I don't have enough money to come back here, but I'm doing well. I'm on the dean's list. He looked at the paper. He said, what is your name? My name is Jasmine Pridgen. The dean's list is an actual list. And he was like, well, you already get money. I said, I understand that, sir, but I don't get enough. So
Right.
he he told me that day, he said, you will not leave this university until you graduate. So, because I was gonna have to go back home and go to community college. So
Right.
he gave me an endowment, not just for my sophomore year. I got that endowment every single semester until I graduated.
Wow.
Janice B. Howroyd she's an A&T alum and like a super rich lady that gives thanks to all alumni that give back. But she is a lady that gave back, and I got that scholarship until I didn't need it anymore.
And
So
yeah, and I know Dean Questa Craig, and when I was working on my BS degree, his wife worked in the animal science building. So you were working with Dean Craig. I was working over there with his wife. So yeah.
Dan Craig does not play. Like, it
So,
was going to an HBCU was hardcore. Like, there were signs, do not walk in the grass. So they're instilling these life skills about you can't walk in the grass because there's no shortcuts in life. Like,
that's
oh,
right.
okay, but it's easier to get to class that way. You don't need to take the easy route. So what I tell people is my HBCU created, they made it okay. They prepared me to be comfortable with being uncomfortable
Right.
because we were told you are going to have to work 10 times as hard to get half as far. So the work ethic is there. You might be the only Black person in the room, you have to be okay with that. Like HBCU is a utopia. When is the next time you're going to be in a campus of 13,000 people that are Black, excellent, smart? I still to this day, after I graduated, I haven't been in an arena like that, but I was given the life skills to go operate in the world that does not look like that, and being told the truth of what it would look like once I got there.
Oh, that sounds wonderful, Miss Pridgen. And if you're like me, when you're there, normally when I went into a classroom with an older professor, someone in their 60s or 70s, you're like, this is a piece of cake. Those were the worst. Those were the hardest. Oh my God.
Because at that point, they had heard every excuse in the book, so they weren't accepting any of
they
them.
were not having it. You could not cut corners. Okay, no.
No cutting corners. They probably hadn't changed the curriculum in 20 years.
Right.
This is the curriculum that works. Do it.
Right. So, and so, Miss Morrison, talk to us a little bit about. You mentioned your intern. Also, talk to us about your first job. I know you have a BS degree in marketing.
Yes.
So, talk to us about your first uh, career when you finished up your BS degree, and what were some of the challenges that you faced?
Yep. So my first job ever is actually where I interned, John Deere.
John Deere. Okay.
Yeah. So imagine going from the blackest environment you've ever seen to John Deere. And even though I excelled in college, I graduated summa cum laude. The second I got into John Deere's building, I was just a little Black girl that graduated from the phone company. Because for the life of them, they could not pronounce A&T correctly. It was, oh, you went to AT&T, right?
I've heard that.
I didn't, but thank you for the disrespect. So that was when I learned that it doesn't matter. I'm not someone that's like, oh, check my resume. Don't have to, because one of my very first bosses told me they can't take away your talent. So even if they don't want to recognize you when you come in the room, let your work speak for itself. So my first job at John Deere it wasn't easy. Like I was young, I was Black. I remember my first position was in Dallas, and I had to travel across Texas, Arkansas, Mississippi, and Louisiana.
Oh, wow.
And my job was to go to dealerships, one, tell them how to improve their dealership.
Okay.
Then train them on the new equipment. So here I am, a girl. I'm from the country, but I have never stepped foot on a farm in my life. Driven a tractor in my life. And I was not welcomed. I remember one training I went to in Mississippi. I was standing up in front of them. I had my presentation, and this guy sat on the other side of it. We went to lunch, and I was at the end of the table, and he said, I sure hate these people that are coming in with these fancy degrees that don't know anything about what I do every day. Whoa. I was told, how did you even find John Deere? Well, they actually came to find me. I went from training to do shows in the northern Midwest. I thought that was going to be,
right,
a little better. It wasn't. So I did shows. I was responsible for farm shows all over the northern Midwest. So I had to get all the equipment in. I'm standing there. I welcome them. I have on my John Deere t-shirt, my John Deere hat, and ready to go. My first show, these guys came to me and were like, just rapid fire, asking me questions about the machines. I knew a little bit enough to be dangerous, but not enough. And he felt comfortable telling me, oh, me and my buddy had a bet you weren't going to know anything. So I did shows for 2.5 years, and I made sure every machine that was going to be at a show, I knew everything about, because that happened every single show. And I did 25 shows a year.
Oh, wow.
Even if I had a show, I lead the show. I put the show together. We had a dealer dinner for like our top dealers.
Right.
And I welcomed them. Again, I had on a hat and a shirt. At the end of my speech, my welcome speech, a dealer comes over and gives me his trash. I said, "Oh, sir, the trash can is over there." He was like, "You're not the help. You actually work for John Deere?"
Oh, wow.
Right. So I stayed in that role for 4 years before I was like, okay, I want to go and try my luck other places. And I did. I've worked for some of the top names. And while most of my experiences haven't been that
Right.
blatant, it still exists. There's always this underlying, like, oh, you need to prove yourself and prove your worth of why you're here.
Right.
But that's not a problem for me because, okay, again, you don't need to check my resume. I will come prove myself time and time again because I'm just as talented as you.
So did you so when you were, they probably thought, what did they think? She has this job, and again, obviously you're talking about large, very large pieces of farm equipment, so they didn't expect you to know anything about the equipment.
I think they just maybe thought I was an affirmative action hire.
Okay, okay.
Possibly. But I still belong here.
Right, right. And so that is very interesting. Those of you in the comment section, go ahead, share some of your experiences. This is mind blowing, Miss Pridgen. So, did you let that deter you, or did that make you more determined? I'm going to be a success. And where did you go from there?
It may be so. Before I left John Deere, there was another black lady who was very high up in the company that I asked. I went to her because she scared people, and I was like, "Ooh, I need her to be my my mentor because she's transcended gender and race and gotten this respect." So I wanted to ask her, how did she do it?
Mhm.
But she told me that I would have to change myself. I needed to get cowboy boots and make them feel more comfortable with my aesthetic. And
Right,
I was like, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to go find me another job, which I did. Like I made up in my mind, okay, I still want to be in marketing. I've worked in marketing my entire career. I still want to be in marketing, but let me at least go work on products that mean something to me. So when at
right, right,
least at the end of the day, I'm taking away something I enjoy. So I've been able to work for different companies, like on major brands,
right,
Billy Clark. So they make Scott tissue and Viva and Huggies diapers. I've worked at newer brands. They make Sharpie, Elmer's glue,
right,
Paper Mate. And now I work for Ring, the video doorbell company.
right.
And now I work at Serta Simmons. So I sell mattresses.
Serta Simmons. All
Yeah.
right. I'll be purchasing a new mattress soon, so
Okay.
it's good
Congrats.
to know. And we know Sealy, Serta, they're up there at the
Mm-hmm.
top.
Yep.
So tell us about your experience with where you're working now.
Where I'm working now has been so I was brought in as an expert to kind of change the dynamic of because mattresses, when you think about buying a mattress, you think about going somewhere like Mattress Firm.
Right.
But they asked me to come in and change that because I've worked for retailers like Walmart, Costco, the bigger retailers. Normally you wouldn't go there for a mattress. So they brought me in to change the dynamic, but I'm working with very traditional people who
Right.
don't want things to change. So not
Right.
only as I'm coming in as this black lady who is speaking a different language and trying to change, but even though that's what I was told I was here for,
Right.
I still meet the adversity of, well, I don't want you to do this. I don't want to change this. So I'm having to be, I don't want to say add friction, but
Right.
question the way people are doing it. And these people have been there for 15, 20 years. And they're
Yeah.
like, what do you know? So
Yeah.
that's the dynamic that I've been in now. So I think that I've been there for 2 years. So
Okay.
now I'm in a place where I've again not shown my resume, but proven my talent.
Right.
Just continue to show
Right.
and make things better.
Right. And so, like I said, that was, one of the main reasons I wanted to start this series. So, is anything perfect? No.
No,
You're going to have challenges with whatever. Uh, you're going to have obstacles to overcome, but you don't give up. And who knows, the story you're sharing now, you don't know who you can motivate to improve their situation. And I'm looking at people in the chat section, and they're just listening, and we all have our own experiences or what have you.
Right.
What would you, if you were speaking to someone, say someone's just getting ready to graduate, what, in May next month, a lot of people are going to be graduating from college. What are some suggestions that you would offer to them, so that they don't get, some people get discouraged. You're strong, but some people that, things fall apart or things aren't exactly to their liking and they fall to pieces. What do you think you could add or say to someone uh, to motivate them to keep going and not give up?
Well, I have absolutely not always been a strong person, and I have been the person that has fallen to pieces a few times. It's like, oh, forget this. I'm going to go do something else. I think what has been most pivotal in my career is finding a good mentor or ally. So
Right.
the shift in my career where I really started to come into my own, I had a manager who was also a Black lady, and I watched her. She has a undergrad from Duke, a master's from Columbia, one of the smartest people I've ever met.
Wow.
But even she dealt with adversity and people putting her down and telling her she wasn't worth it. Like, she was told she needed to take a demotion, like people trying to humble her all the time. But she always handled it with so much grace.
Right.
And she would always outsmart them. I don't feel like I'm at that level yet, but I still talk to this woman every day, and I try to be like her. But she was my manager, and she gave me the advice to speak up, because I think we get stuck in trying not to be the angry Black woman or the angry, like trying not to
Right.
be the stereotypes that they think we are.
Okay.
So in doing that, I was quiet. Like, I didn't speak up whenever I didn't agree. I would be scared to ruffle feathers, but she made it. She was like, "Since when do you sit in a room of men and they don't say how they feel? So what is wrong with you saying how you feel?" So she made me realize that I have a voice, and I was able to promote impact, and I did. So
Wow.
that has actually catapulted. That was probably maybe 6 years ago, but that catapulted my and gave me the confidence I needed to get through my career. But
Right.
having that relationship with her, I still go to her and talk to her about things. So finding a mentor and somebody that's already done it or can give you some advice on it is the best thing
That's
that
right.
happened in my career.
That's some excellent sound advice, folks. Those of you who are here, please go ahead and hit the little thumbs, the little like button. Jermaine, if you will, thank you for joining, dear. Go ahead and share this video on your Facebook page, please. So, in closing, because I know everyone's busy and has to get back to uh, their life and preparing for work tomorrow. Um, so, in closing, Miss Pridgen, is there anything else you would like to say to anyone in the comment section, or who knows how many people will watch this video? Anything, any encouraging words, last thoughts that you would like to share?
I would just encourage everyone to think big. And because this was about HBCUs, I would recommend like really doing your research on the HBCUs.
Mm-hmm.
I know 2020 made HBCUs more trendy
Right.
with celebrities and Jeff Bezos' wife giving millions of dollars to HBCUs, but
Right.
it's more than a trend. And I definitely think it should be. If you have a college age person that is considering it, look into it. Look
Okay.
into the programs they offer and go get the experience.
I'm glad you mentioned that. Also, like you said, it started trending. And Angelina Jolie, we know she's a famous actress. She adopted a bunch of kids from different countries. And one young lady she adopted, I think, I forgot which part of Africa she was from, but Angelina herself took the girl, well, now I call her a little girl. She's grown now. Took her, was it Spelman? Somebody has to look that up for me. She took her and had her enrolled into an HBCU. So I was like, wow. So, you're thinking Angelina Jolie's this big star. She's going to take her to Stanford or somewhere like that. No, Angelina Jolie took her and enrolled her, because I saw this and I was like, wow. So, again, we're getting out there, folks. Patricia said, don't give up even with all the things we go through. Right. Lady Libra, thank you so much, Miss Pridgen, for the good information. So they're thanking you, definitely thanking you for that. So we got I keep you on your toes over there. So like I said, okay, I didn't want to take all of Miss Pridgen's time. She's a working lady like I am, and thank you all so much for coming in and participating in the conversation. Most people were just commenting, about what you were saying. And thank you, Vicky Council's here. How you doing, Vicky?
Hi, Miss Council.
Vicky, Jasmine Pridgen is saying hello to you. So okay, everybody saying hello to Vicky. All right. She's saying that you look wonderful, Jazzy.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, Tammy. Spellman. Thank you, Rhonda. I thought it was Spellman, but I did. Yeah. So Angelina Jolie took her adopted daughter and enrolled her in Spellman. Okay. One of the top HBCUs. Vicky Council, share this video on your Facebook page, please, dear. And thank you all so much. Oh, God, she got it from her mom. Okay. Time to shut this stream down now.
I knew that was coming.
You knew it was coming. I mean, I had to do that. All right. So I'm so glad that we had all of you here. We've had a wonderful time. And thank you, Mark. Mark Holmes is big time Dallas Cowboy YouTuber. That's where I go when I end my stream. We go over there at 5:00. I think most of the people in my stream are already subbed up and members of Mark's Jobu Sports Report. So thank you. Let's all thank Miss Jasmine Pridgen for coming in, taking time from her very busy Sunday to spend time here with the Rollins Reviews YouTube channel. And again, folks, sometimes we're just here talking, but we do not know who we reach. Vicky says we need to meet Mark. Yeah, he's a wonderful person. Okay, we go every year up there to FedEx Stadium. But yeah, share that for me, Vicky. But yeah, so sometimes we think, oh, it's just words. You don't know. Everyone's at a different place in life, mentally, emotionally, psychologically. How you doing, Sugar Daddy? So remember that, folks. This new series I'm starting, OHS, which stand for those that don't know, that's Over Hills High School. We're focusing on our graduates, and those of you just coming in, she's a 2006 graduate. Yes, I'm getting old. So I transferred from OMS in 2007. So Miss Pridgen left 1 year before I got there, but that's fine. So everyone, thank you for coming in and spending your very valuable time. How you doing, Sugar Daddy? With the Rollins Reviews YouTube channel, and Miss Jasmine, the lovely Miss Jasmine Pridgen. And we're going to be back. We're going to keep this series going. Miss Pridgen is going to help me reach out to some more former graduates, her mother, Vicky Council, and I have some other co-workers that say that they're going to reach out. We have some former students that are doing excellent in life, just like Miss Pridgen. And that's who we need to be lifting up, folks, because we hear enough negative. Let's start focusing on some positive aspects of this generation. Okay. All right. Well, have a safe week, and we'll hope to see you here again on the Rollins Reviews YouTube channel next Sunday. Be safe and take care, and we'll see you next Sunday.